Hey guys, so I'm back with my second speed build of all time, and I'm just kind of, it's not a very good speed build because I've done it in three different videos and only two of them have been speed builds, so it's not like the speediest of speed builds, but you know, give me a break, I'm learning. So here we are at the restaurant that I've been building. I've not given it a name. I've just realised I didn't name it anything, so I'm going to have to think about what I want to call it. I don't really want to keep it as Fleeda Mouse Bend. I find that offensive, okay? As a mouse, I find that offensive. Excuse me, but I decorated the middle level. I built the outside, the shell, decorated the middle level, and then today I need to do the basement and the bar area upstairs. So I just realised that I don't have a toilet, which is what that requirement's flashing at me about. So I thought I can just make a little extra basement room down there and turn that into a little toilet. Or bathroom, as we like to call it, because you don't want to go for a meal and then be like, oh, let's talk about toilets. So you want to say something like powder room, or you know, something a bit more polite. like I'm just going to the bog. Yeah. So. Oh, it's descended into chaos already. Why am I like this? So here we go. I'm just using half walls to make little cubicles, because some of us didn't have to rely on the gurus to make actual toilet cubicles for us. Some of us used our inventiveness and used half walls all along, well, since we've had half walls. But yeah, totally do appreciate the actual toilet cubicles too, don't get me wrong. But yeah, this is the OG way of building toilets, guys. You know, all the prosumers, this is how we do it. Trying to act like I'm an actual good builder. No, stop it. Simproved is coming for me already and point out all my flaws. Yeah, like not putting toilet roll in the toilets. Like, I've just realised there's no loo roll in there, there's no bog roll in there. So I'm having a bit of a meltdown here, I think, trying to find a matching counter that looks good in the bathroom. But then I think, why don't I just use a sink? I could just use a sink. So there we go. I use those. I really like that style, actually. The toilet, the bathroom set that came with. I said toilet again. The bathroom set that came with the vampires, that kind of Victorian style. I really appreciate that. I kind of lost the plot a little bit when I got that in the game. I really like the toilet with like the high cistern. We used to have those here quite a lot. My old school, when I was a little girl, used to have toilets like that, and they're really like hard to flush. That's how old I am. I was born in Victorian times. I went to school in the Victorian times. It felt like it sometimes. Some of my teachers were a bit old-fashioned. So I'm just struggling with spider webs a bit here. I want the one that goes in the corner, but typically it's the last one I look at, right? Excuse me, just having a sip of my coffee, because you know me. So, yeah, so I'm playing around with that rug. Really like that rug, the kind of distressed, kind of old-fashioned look of it. Yeah, and then I decided I don't like that wallpaper down there. It's not what I was going for, so I put that up in the bar area. But I think I actually get rid of it in the end. I just completely get rid of it. So I'm just I'm texting that I'm filming so no one disturbs me. There we go. Because I'm that organised. So yeah, so I want it to look a bit like a wine cellar. So I'm using these props from Get Famous to kind of make it look like there's barrels down there. You know, this is where they store all the plasma fruit nectar. And then I get that little, I really like that from Dine Out. It's like a little wine rack. I'd love some like we had in, something that looks a bit more rustic though. Something a bit more like what we had in World Adventures for The Sims 3, because I loved that. I was forever building wine basements. I think that's just like my goals. Like one day I will have a wine basement, but if I did, there'd be no wine in it. I'd have to like constantly be stocking it up because I'd just drink it all. How do people have like a bottle of wine, right? How do people have a bottle of wine and then it'd be like, oh, this is an 100-year-old vintage Mouloir grape Sauvignon Blanc. Like, how do people do that? Because I swear, like, the longest a bottle of wine that has ever survived in my house is about a week, probably, if it's lucky. Oh, I like these tables from Pets, but they have a bit of an alpha look to me. They don't quite match the game, I don't think. There's something a bit off about them that makes me not happy. And I wish it came in more colours as well. But I like that kind of rustic style for the basement, so I do use them. So yeah, so how do people like have the bottle of wine that's 100 years old? What I think is it's actually like a really duff wine, you know, that's nobody really likes the taste of. It's like, oh no, Vladimir Strauss bought me that disgusting wine again from, you know, that cheap wine from that has a fancy name that people keep trying to pass off as being like a really nice wine, but nobody likes it. So you just kind of like stick it in your basement and forget about it, and then you pull it out 100 years later and you're like, oh, check out my vintage wine. It's so tasty. But everybody but it still tastes gross, but people drink it anyway to kind of like to kind of look like the posh and look like they know what they're doing and look like they know wine, but actually everybody just hates it. They're just too polite to say. So I'm placing some candles on the wall here. Oh, I went off on one. Yeah, I really like how the basement area came together. I think it could do with a little bit more decoration. I could really clutter it up a bit. Oh, and then I had my CC in, and I really wanted to use these little roses in a jar by, who's that by? I think I did pause over it. You could rewind it and have a look. Is it Dean and Kiwi? Something like that. I don't think they're active anymore actually, but I think you can still get stuff from their site. Sniffling. So I'm placing those little flowers on the table. I'd love more centerpieces for tables. I was so happy to get candle making because I really like having the candles as a centerpiece for the table, but I could do with a few more like, you know, really small plants with like the smallest deco slot. Yeah, because everything's just always so big in The Sims 4, so I really appreciate it when we get the smaller things. And here I'm just placing some stains on the wall to make it look like either rust or blood stains. We don't really know. Some kind of wall seepage. Maybe the walls are bleeding. You know, it is in Forgotten Hollow, so you never know these things. Drinking my coffee because I'm a professional. I felt a bit overwhelmed here going through all the wall decor. I sort of wish there was a way I could sort it more. There's just so much of it. You know, getting to that point in the game now where there's a lot of decor items, and it does get a little bit overwhelming. You know, if you're just kind of looking for certain things, like a certain style, I really wish they'd make more use out of the style tags. You know, where you can filter by like a certain look. Because I think that's it's such a brilliant idea, but it's so like underused. I really like. It's like, do we want the devs to like spend that time doing that up, going back over that, re-tagging everything? Because it would take a long time for them to do it. But then I think in the end of the day, it could actually be really, really worthwhile. I don't know. Is that a good use of dev time? I want it. Is it my priority? I don't know. Kind of maybe I need to do it myself somehow. Just invite me over to the EA gurus. Just put me up in a hotel. Invite me over and I'll sit there. I'll re-tag everything for you. I'll do it. It's fine. You can trust me. You can totally trust me. I'm not going to get up to mischief. As if I would. Right, okay. So here we go up to the bar area. Now I was originally going to make it so that you had to be able to teleport to get up there, but I think in the end I do cave and I do put ladders in, and then I'm looking at that where that roof is clipping into that room. It looks gross. Yeah, so then I find a spot for ladders, and eventually I put a staircase outside, which isn't ideal, but I felt like I needed it. So I'm just using that floor from Spooky Stuff that I thought that I hated, but then I used it and decided it was my favourite wood floor in the game now. Completely about turned on that one. And then I'm just sort of working out... I was going to use that door, but then it had a letterbox on it, and I was like, well, you wouldn't have a letterbox on the first floor. Like, that's ridiculous. So then I spent some time looking for another door. There we go, I've got one. Okay, so here I'm sort of, I'm looking for a bar, and I get that nice one from Realm of Magic, and I spend about 5 minutes deciding what colour I want it. And actually now, I think I prefer that colour, that original colour there, but I end up going for that colour, the black and white. So yeah, regrets there. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, far too many to mention. So yeah, and again, I did want it to be a bar area, and I put some really nice seating up there. And then I kind of had a bit of a, oh no, then people are going to go and eat the food up there. They're going to use it as part of the restaurant. And then I thought, well, is it bad if they use it as part of the restaurant? So yeah, and then I was thinking, are they going to be able to get the food up the ladder? Yeah, so I really agonised over that for a while. And then I ended up putting the staircase outside, so it's all okay. Here, I'm getting grumpy about not having matching counters, although I think there is a matching counter from Realm of Magic, but I don't think it's got a wooden top. Like, the bar has a wooden top, and I don't think the counter does. It's right there, and I'm not clicking on it, and I'm annoyed at myself for not clicking on it. But yeah, I don't think it has a wooden top. I love these chairs. Love these tables from Dine Out. I just use them all the time, overuse them. Like, they're just like the nectar of the gods in my eyes. I like those chairs as well from Get Famous. So I put this little table in this corner here, and then I wonder if I can actually get to all the seating. So I do actually test with Cinderella after the build. Excuse me, and she can get to the 3 front chairs, but not the one that's kind of right in that back corner there. So I've shifted it over, and she can get to all the chairs now. So I was really actually quite excited that she could sit in all of those. How do people speed build? What do I talk about? I'm placing chairs now, and I need to burp, and I have burped. So good at this. And then I get really like sort of arsy about the placement of the tables, because I want them to look kind of scattered, but I don't know. I just mess around with the placement of the tables for far too long. It's that one there that really bothers me. It's like, I don't want it to be square because that one behind it is square, but then I don't want it to be angled because the other one's angled, and I don't know. And then I think they're too much in a line, so I move it back over. So I definitely got a bit see, this is why, like, I've always thought, like, I can't do speed builds because I get so, like, bogged down in small details. But I don't know. I'm just going to do it. I'm at that point in my life where I'm like, I'm just going to do stuff, and if people don't like it, you know, they don't have to watch. I can waffle on. I can sit here and talk to myself for 20 minutes. It's fine. No harm, no foul. So then I get those cool like candelabras there for the behind the bar, but I'm like a bit worried that the vampires are going to set themselves on fire, because isn't fire like dangerous to vampires? And then I think, like, why do vampires have so many candles about if they're just going to go around setting themselves on fire? It doesn't make any sense. So there we go, overusing those little flowers again, because they're literally the only one that looks good in the centre of a table. There isn't a fern. See, I would love to get more little flowers like that. But they work, they do the job. I don't bother with curtains upstairs because I think, you know, it kind of sets the mood to have, you know, in a bar, to be able to look outside and see the night time and like the stars, and, you know, I don't want to cover that up with curtains. I genuinely didn't forget to put curtains on. I made an active decision to not put curtains up. Like, honestly, now I feel like you don't believe me. Now I think that you think that I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. I just didn't want curtains. I feel like that's a very, very a weird, like, English-American thing. Like, in the UK, like, it's really weird to have your light on, but your curtains open, because everybody can see inside your house. So that's really, really weird to me. So I see it all the time in, like, American movies where people, like, have the curtains wide open and the lights on and it's dark outside. And I'm like, are you an exhibitionist? Do you want everybody to be able to see what you're doing? Like, when you sat there picking your nose and watching telly? Like, do you want people just, like, looking in, like, watching you? It's so creepy. It's like prime stalker scenario right there. Oh, so if I talk about what I'm actually doing on the screen instead of just talking about whatever pops into my head, I'm doing the menu, and I really try to stick to like meat things. Like the more raw the meat looked, the better. I did not choose puffer fish nigiri because that would not go down well, literally. So yeah, there's not a huge amount of choice. I wish there was more like weird magical food. All the food's actually pretty normal. Like we've got the stuff that came with Dine Out, which is like weird food, like angel moss egg and alien moss egg and things like that. But I don't know, I wanted some sort of like magical food. I wish there was like more like witch food, you know? Like, I don't know. There's zombie cake. I've just gone right past zombie cake. Go back, Cinderella. Go and get the zombie cake. If I remember, I'll add that to the menu before I upload this. I'm going to upload this to the gallery if anyone wants it. I don't know why you would. I don't know. You do you. No, actually, I actually really like it. I think I'm quite proud of myself for this build. It's a build style that I'm quite comfortable with, that kind of Victorian Gothic style. Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of style homes in my area. The kind of British style Victorian Gothic. So yeah, it's a style I'm comfortable with. Obviously slightly fewer meat cubes lying around British homes than in Forgotten Hollow, but you know, cultural differences. So just scattering some rugs around, you know, so people are going on dates. We don't want anyone to get cold feet. And then I think I start to realise that people are going to want to eat upstairs and that they're not going to be able to bring the food up. So I start dealing with the staircase there. I can't speak today. So there we go. Well, I can't place it, so I have to sort of place it and adjust it sort of off to one side and then bring it back in again. But I think it looks okay. It almost looks like a metal fire escape. And then I decided to put the rocking chair right on that corner there, right on the edge. Like if people get drunk, like they drink too much plasma juice and they get in that rocking chair, you know, I can see that being the end of Vlad. Plunging on a wooden rocking chair from the first floor balcony. Landing in a pile of splinters. I mean, it could be how Vlad dies, let's face it. But I found it really funny, and I really hope that they start rocking on that chair. Oh, it really annoys me that I can't place the freeze back here. I don't know if there's any like tips for that. If there's a way to put the freeze back on, but it wouldn't let me. Yeah, when I place the stairs, it kind of ets the freeze, so I just kind of try and cover it up as best as I can with some flowers, but it doesn't look ideal, and I'm not happy about it, and I got really quite grumpy about it. So yeah, it's sort of covered but not. You can really see the gap there underneath the flowers. Underneath the flowers for a couple of hours. But yeah, I like the stairs. I think the stairs with the iron railing looks quite good. So yeah, that's more or less it, I think. So I think I tried to do a little guided tour here in tab mode, but then I haven't actually... oh, I'm just fixing all the colours of the lights. So yeah. Oh, I like that little tip there. If you can see that chandelier, it's it's that one with the 4 candles, and I like doing it, placing it and then doing it on an angle to get like the 8 candles. I think that's brilliant. Like, I'm just so impressed with myself for doing that, you know. But I do that quite a lot. I like the look of it with the extra candles. So yeah, I tried to do like a little bit of a tour in tab mode now, but I haven't got all the floors loaded, so I keep having to stop and go up a floor because I'm such a professional, you know, so good at this. I turned around and he was like right there, and I sort of jumped a little bit. It scared me. I like my bathroom. If I went to, with the cobwebs over the toilet, if I went to an establishment like this, I think I'd be quite impressed by the toilet facilities. Less so about the blood dripping from the walls. But I'm glad that we've got a woohoo spot. I really hope Vlad's date goes well and they get to woohoo in that coffin in front of all the other diners, because that'll bring me so much pride and joy. So there we've got the little witch corner, and I barely looked at it. We've got the meat cubes, the blood splattered floor. I definitely do this too quick, don't I? And then we go outside and we can go up the stairs, but we can't because I need to get out of tab mode, and then I accidentally press the wrong button and go into the menu. But eventually I remember how to go up instead of down in tab mode. Go up the stairs. Laughing to myself about the rocking chair. I like that he can sit in the rocking chair and kind of like have a view of his own house and how magnificent it is. Love that window. I think that window from Realm of Magic looks amazing, and this little area too. You know, I like the idea of being able to excuse me, sit there and look outside. So yeah, I think that is more or less it. There we go. Hope you enjoyed. Hope we get to take Vlad on his date really soon. Bye guys.